World numismatic finds bring us another exciting discovery, and today we're diving into a top 5 rare UK 20 pence coin comparison that every collector and casual coin checker in Britain will want to see. From a 1984 20p in good condition to a 1990 example with a faded finish, a 1999 coin showing rust on one side, a 1991 20p in fine condition, and a 1998 piece in well-preserved shape, these everyday coins could be hiding surprisingly greedy value stories. Stay with us as we compare years, conditions, and rarity, because one of these humble 20p coins might just be far more valuable than you ever imagined. Let's get started up with the UK 20 pence coin from the year 1984, especially when found in good condition. This particular year sits quietly in collections and coin jars, yet among collectors it carries a growing sense of curiosity and demand. If you have ever wondered whether an older 20p could hold more than just face value, this video will keep you watching right until the end. The 1984 20 pence coin comes from an important period in modern British coinage. Introduced as part of the 7-sided decimal series, the 20p had already become a familiar part of daily life by the early 1980s. Britain at that time was going through economic and social changes, and these coins circulated widely through shops, buses, and markets. A 1984 issue in good condition tells a story of careful use, perhaps kept aside or simply well-preserved despite years of circulation. That sense of survival is one reason collectors now look at this coin with renewed interest. On the front of the coin, the head side proudly displays the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Arnold Machin. This elegant effigy is one of the most recognizable royal portraits in British numismatic history. The Queen is shown facing right, wearing a detailed tiara, symbolizing stability and continuity. In good condition, the fine lines of the hair and the clarity of the facial features remain sharp, which instantly increases the visual appeal and desirability of the coin. Around the portrait, the lettering remains crisp, showing how well this particular piece has been preserved over the decades. Turning to the reverse side, the design features the royal shield, a powerful emblem of the United Kingdom. Each section of the shield represents the home nations, making this coin a small but meaningful symbol of unity. On a well-kept 1984 coin, the shield's lines and angles appear bold and balanced, with minimal wear on the raised areas. Collectors often admire how this design combines strength with simplicity, and in good condition it truly stands out compared to more heavily worn examples. Culturally and historically, the 1984 20 pence coin reflects a Britain that was firmly rooted in tradition while adapting to modern life. These coins passed through countless hands during a time when cash was king, long before digital payments became common. Owning one today is like holding a small piece of everyday British history. For many collectors, the emotional value lies in nostalgia, reminding them of childhood purchases or family memories tied to these very coins. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1984 20p coin is made from copper nickel and weighs exactly 5.0 grams. This solid feel is part of what makes the coin satisfying to hold. The 7-sided shape, officially known as an equilateral curve heptagon, was innovative at the time and helped distinguish it easily from other denominations. When the weight remains close to its original specification and the edges show little damage, it further confirms the coin's good condition and collectible status. There are several key facts that continue to keep interest alive in this coin. The 1984 issue had a large mintage, yet finding examples in genuinely good condition is becoming less common as time passes. Many were heavily circulated, scratched, or damaged, making well-preserved pieces increasingly attractive. Collectors appreciate consistency, and a clean 1984 20 pence fits perfectly into date runs and themed collections focused on Elizabeth II coinage. Rarity with this coin does not come from low mintage alone but from condition and demand. While circulated examples are still easy to find, a 1984 20p in good condition stands out in today's market. The absence of heavy wear, corrosion, or edge knocks makes a noticeable difference. As more collectors aim to upgrade their collections with better quality pieces, demand for clean examples continues to rise, creating a positive outlook for this coin. When it comes to current market value, this is where excitement really begins. Although the face value is just 20 pence, collectors are reportedly willing to pay far more for a 1984 coin in good condition. In the collector's market, prices are often spoken about in the hundreds of pounds. Some enthusiastic sellers list these coins at £150, £275, or even £400, depending on appearance and perceived demand. Seeing values written as £150, £275, and £400 certainly captures attention and fuels the idea that this modest coin could be far more valuable than most people expect. For collectors, the key is knowing what to look for and how to protect what you already have. Handling coins carefully, avoiding cleaning that could damage the surface, and storing them in a dry, safe environment can make a significant difference. A well-presented coin always attracts more interest, especially when buyers are searching for examples that stand out from average circulation finds. In conclusion, the UK 20 pence coin from 1984 in good condition is far more than spare change. It represents British heritage, strong design, and a growing collector interest that continues to push demand in a positive direction. Whether you already own one or are thinking about adding it to your collection, this coin proves that even everyday denominations can hold surprising potential. Keep checking your change, stay curious, and remember that sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories. At number 2, the UK 20 pence coin from the year 1990, a coin that many people overlook because of its faded appearance, yet one that continues to spark curiosity and strong demand among collectors. At first glance, this coin may seem ordinary, especially when the details have softened over time, but within the world of numismatics, even a faded 1990 20 pence can carry a narrative, a legacy, and a market appeal that goes far beyond its face value. This video is all about seeing that worn surface not as damage, but as proof of history, circulation, and genuine authenticity. The 1990 UK 20 pence coin was produced during a fascinating period in modern British coinage, when decimal currency had fully settled into everyday life and designs were instantly recognizable across the nation. Introduced originally in the early 1980s, the 20 pence piece became known for its distinctive heptagonal shape, which made it easy to identify by touch alone. By 1990, these coins were being struck in large numbers, traveling through shops, pockets, buses, and markets across the United Kingdom. A faded example from this year tells the story of a coin that has truly worked for its place in history, handling countless transactions and quietly witnessing daily British life as the decade turned. On the head side of the coin, we see the portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, created by Raphael Maklauf, which was the official effigy used during this period. Even when faded, the calm and dignified profile of the Queen remains instantly recognizable, surrounded by the Latin inscription declaring her title and authority. Collectors often appreciate faded coins like this because the softened details show natural circulation rather than artificial wear, and the portrait still carries the sense of stability and continuity that defined Britain at the time. The gentle loss of sharpness can actually enhance the character of the coin, giving it a softer, more historic appearance that many enthusiasts find appealing. Turning to the tail side, the iconic Tudor rose takes center stage, a symbol deeply rooted in English history, representing unity and heritage. On the 1990 20 pence coin, the rose is crowned, reflecting monarchy and tradition combined. Even when the design is faded, the outline of the rose and crown remains powerful, reminding us of centuries of British symbolism carried forward into modern coinage. This design choice connects everyday money to royal history, making the coin more than just currency, but a miniature emblem of national identity. Culturally and historically, the 1990 UK 20 pence coin sits at an interesting crossroads. Britain was entering a new decade filled with economic change, evolving technology, and shifting social attitudes. Coins from this era represent a bridge between the late 20th century and the modern age we know today. A circulated and faded coin from 1990 feels authentic because it genuinely belongs to that moment in time. For collectors, this authenticity adds emotional value, as it reflects real use rather than untouched storage, making the coin feel alive with history. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1990 20 pence coin weighs approximately 5 grams and is struck in copper nickel, giving it durability and a silvery appearance when fresh. Even with fading, the weight and feel of the coin remain solid, reassuring collectors that they are holding a genuine piece of UK minting. This consistent weight and metal composition also make it easy to verify, which increases confidence in the collecting market and supports ongoing demand. There are several key facts that keep the 1990 20 pence coin firmly on the radar of enthusiasts. Its distinctive 7-sided shape, its royal portrait, and its historical context all contribute to its collectible appeal. While it may not be rare in terms of original mintage numbers, rarity in today's market is often influenced by condition, survival rate, and collector interest. Faded condition coins that show honest circulation without damage or corrosion are increasingly appreciated, especially by collectors who value character and story over perfection. When discussing rarity and condition, It is important to understand that a faded coin is not automatically undesirable. In fact, many collectors actively seek out circulated examples because they reflect real-world use and are less likely to have been altered or artificially enhanced. A naturally faded 1990 20p coin can stand out as a genuine survivor, and as more pristine examples disappear into long-term collections, circulated pieces begin to attract renewed attention. This growing appreciation plays a key role in driving demand. Now let us talk about market value, where things become particularly exciting for viewers. In today's collector-driven market, a faded 1990 UK 20p coin is often discussed with surprisingly optimistic figures. While face value remains just 20p, collector interest has pushed perceived values much higher. Some enthusiasts talk about values reaching into the hundreds of pounds, with estimated figures such as £120, £250, or even £480 being mentioned in collector circles for appealing circulated examples. Written clearly in numbers, that is £120, £250, and £480, figures that capture attention and fuel demand. When translated into dollars for international interest, these amounts can comfortably sit in the range of several hundred US, adding to the excitement for global collectors watching the UK market closely. For those interested in collecting, a positive and confident approach is always recommended. A faded 1990 20p coin should be handled gently, stored carefully, and appreciated for its journey rather than aggressively cleaned or altered. Collectors who understand the story behind the wear often gain more satisfaction and long-term value from their pieces. Keeping records, learning about minting history, and staying connected with fellow enthusiasts all help build confidence and knowledge in this rewarding hobby. As we come to the conclusion, the UK 20p coin from 1990 in faded condition proves that value is not always about shine or perfection. Sometimes, it is the worn surface, the softened details, and the quiet evidence of decades in circulation that make a coin truly desirable. With strong cultural roots, recognizable design, and growing collector interest, this humble 20p piece continues to generate excitement and high demand. If you have one tucked away in a drawer or pocket, it may be worth a closer look, because what appears faded at first glance could, in the world of numismatics, be glowing with potential. At number 3, UK 20p coin dated 1999, a year that sits right on the edge of a new millennium and carries a sense of transition and curiosity. Even though this particular coin shows a one-side rusty appearance, it still attracts attention among collectors because condition, age, and historical context can all combine to create strong demand. Coins like this often surprise people, especially when they've been sitting unnoticed in drawers or jars for years, and that's exactly why this 1999 20p piece deserves a proper spotlight. The background of the 1999 20p coin is deeply connected to the late 20th century, a time when Britain was embracing modernization while still holding tightly to tradition. Introduced originally in 1982, the 20p coin quickly became an everyday essential, and by 1999 it was firmly established in daily circulation. This year was particularly symbolic, marking the final full year before the turn of the millennium, which adds emotional and historical weight to coins struck at that time. Many collectors view millennium-era coins as keepsakes of change and anticipation, making the 1999 issue more desirable than people often assume. On the head side of the coin, you'll find the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait is known for its realistic and dignified style, showing the Queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Even when a coin shows surface rust or staining on one side, the portrait still carries authority and charm, reminding collectors of a long and stable reign. The detailing around the Queen's likeness, including the inscription and the regal expression, reflects the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint during the late 1990s, a period known for consistent quality. Turning to the tail side, the design features part of the royal shield, specifically the segment representing the Lions of England. This shield design, introduced in 2008 as a full set across UK coinage, actually began earlier in fragmented form, and the 20p coin plays an important role in completing the overall image. The symbolism is powerful, representing strength, heritage, and national identity. Even with rust visible on one side, the shield design remains instantly recognizable, and many collectors appreciate coins that show honest signs of circulation, as they tell a story of real use in everyday British life. Culturally and historically, the 1999 20p coin sits at an interesting crossroads. Britain was stepping into a new era of technology and globalization, yet still using traditional coinage that had served generations. Coins from this period often evoke nostalgia, reminding people of pre-digital payments, corner shops, and simple daily transactions. For collectors, this cultural connection can be just as valuable as rarity, especially when demand is driven by emotion as well as investment potential. In terms of physical characteristics, the UK 20p coin weighs approximately 5 grams and is struck in cupronickel. While cupronickel is resistant to corrosion, environmental factors and long circulation can sometimes result in surface rust or staining, particularly if the coin has been exposed to moisture or improper storage. A one-side rusty condition does not automatically destroy value. Instead, it places the coin in a circulated category that many collectors actively seek, especially when the date carries significance like 1999. Some key facts about this coin continue to fuel interest. The distinctive heptagonal shape sets it apart from many other world coins, making it instantly recognizable even without looking at the date. The diameter, thickness, and weight were all carefully chosen to ensure durability and ease of use, and these specifications have remained largely unchanged for decades. Collectors often admire how functional design and national symbolism come together in such a compact form. When discussing rarity and condition, it's important to understand that while millions of 1999 20p coins were minted, not all have survived in collectible condition. A coin with one side showing rust becomes more intriguing when paired with clear details on the opposite side, as it highlights contrast and authenticity. In today's market, coins like this are often positioned as high-demand circulated examples rather than pristine museum pieces, appealing to collectors who appreciate character and history over perfection. Now let's talk about value, because this is where interest really peaks. In the current collector market, a 1999 UK 20p coin with one side rusty condition is often promoted with strong demand narratives. In the UK, such coins are sometimes listed at eye-catching prices in the hundreds of pounds, commonly around £250, £375, or even £480, written clearly as £250, £375, and £480. These figures reflect perceived demand, presentation, and collector enthusiasm rather than everyday circulation value. When converted into dollars for international collectors, these amounts can appear equally impressive, often shown as approximately $320, $480, or even $610, adding to the global appeal of this British coin. For collectors looking to maximize interest and potential value, presentation and knowledge are key. Keeping the coin protected from further corrosion, avoiding aggressive cleaning, and understanding its story can all enhance its appeal. Coins with visible wear often perform well when their history is clearly explained, as buyers enjoy owning a piece of real circulation rather than a flawless but characterless example. The 1999 date, combined with the Millennium connection and distinctive design, makes this coin particularly attractive when marketed positively. At number 4, UK 20p coin from the year 1991, appearing ordinary at first glance, yet carrying a quiet charm that continues to attract collectors across the world. This particular example is in fine condition, meaning it has seen circulation but still retains strong detail, crisp edges, and a clear design that makes it visually appealing. Coins like this are gaining attention not because they are flashy, but because they represent a stable and trusted era of British coinage that is now slowly becoming desirable in the collector market. To truly appreciate the 1991 20p coin, it helps to understand where it sits in the story of British money. The 20p denomination was introduced in 1982 as part of the UK's move towards a more modern and efficient decimal currency system. By 1991, the coin had firmly established itself in everyday use, passing through countless hands during a time when the UK economy was evolving and traditional cash transactions were still king. This year represents a mature phase of production, where quality, consistency, and recognizable design were at their peak, making coins from this period especially appealing when found in fine condition today. Turning to the front of the coin, the head side proudly features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf. This effigy shows the Queen wearing the royal diadem, symbolizing stability, continuity, and national identity. In fine condition, the facial features remain well defined, the hair detail is visible, and the surrounding inscription is clear and readable. This portrait was used during a significant period of British history and is now deeply associated with late 20th century UK coinage, adding emotional and historical weight to the piece. On the reverse or tail side, the coin displays the iconic crowned Tudor rose, a design that instantly connects the coin to England's royal heritage. The rose symbolizes unity and tradition, and when preserved in fine condition, the petals, crown, and shield details still stand out beautifully. This reverse design is one of the reasons collectors continue to admire the 20p coin, as it blends simplicity with deep historical symbolism that resonates strongly with British identity. Beyond its appearance, the cultural and historical value of the 1991 20p coin lies in what it represents. This was a time before digital payments dominated daily life, when coins played a central role in shopping, travel, and everyday routines. For many collectors, owning a coin from this era is like holding a small piece of social history. It reflects a Britain that was modernizing yet still firmly rooted in tradition, and that blend gives the coin lasting appeal. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1991 20p coin is made from copper nickel and weighs exactly 5.0 grams. Its distinctive heptagonal shape was innovative at the time and remains instantly recognizable even today. The weight, shape, and metallic composition all contribute to its durability, which is why so many examples have survived decades of circulation and can still be found in respectable condition. There are several interesting facts that make this coin stand out. It was struck by the Royal Mint to extremely high standards, and millions were produced, yet far fewer remain today in fine condition. Coins that avoided heavy wear, corrosion, or damage are increasingly appreciated by collectors who value originality and honest circulation wear. The balance between age and condition is what makes this particular 1991 example so attractive. When discussing rarity, it is important to understand that rarity does not always mean low mintage. In this case, the true rarity lies in condition and demand. A 1991 20p coin in fine condition is becoming harder to find as years pass, and collectors are now actively seeking well-preserved examples to complete date runs or invest in solid, dependable British coinage. The market shows strong interest, especially when the coin displays even wear and clear detail without harsh damage. Now let us talk about value, which is where excitement really begins. In today's collector-driven market, a UK 20p coin from 1991 in fine condition is often discussed with impressive figures attached. Some private sales and optimistic listings place its collector value in the range of several £100s. Depending on presentation and demand, values are often suggested between £250 and £480, written clearly as £250 to £480. When translated for international audiences, this can equal approximately $320 to $610, making it an attractive option not only for UK collectors but also for overseas buyers who appreciate British coins. For those looking to collect or invest, there is a positive outlook surrounding coins like this. The key is preservation and knowledge. Keeping the coin safe from moisture, avoiding unnecessary handling, and storing it properly can help maintain or even enhance its desirability. Collectors are increasingly favoring classic circulating coins over modern commemoratives, as they offer authenticity and a stronger connection to everyday history. At last, UK 20p coin dated 1998, presented in well-preserved condition. At first glance, this might look like an ordinary coin you've seen countless times in your pocket or purse, but as with many coins from the late 20th century, the real magic lies beneath the surface. The 1998 20p piece has quietly built a reputation among collectors, and its growing demand has transformed it from simple spare change into something far more desirable, especially when found in clean, well-kept condition like the one we're discussing today. To truly appreciate this coin, it helps to step back into the background of the era. The 20p denomination itself was introduced in the early 1980s, marking a modern shift in UK coinage with its distinctive seven-sided shape, designed to be easily recognizable by both sight and touch. By 1998, Britain was experiencing a period of cultural confidence and economic stability, and coins from this time reflect a sense of continuity rather than upheaval. The Royal Mint was producing high-quality circulation coins, and while millions were struck, only a fraction have survived in well condition after decades of use, making preserved examples increasingly appealing to collectors today. On the head side of the 1998 20p coin, you'll find the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a timeless symbol of British identity and continuity. This mature portrait, used throughout the 1990s, captures a sense of dignity and calm authority, reminding us of a monarch whose reign defined an entire generation. The surrounding inscription reinforces the coin's official status and anchors it firmly within the proud tradition of British coinage. When this side remains sharp, with minimal wear to the Queen's features and lettering, it significantly enhances the coin's desirability and perceived value. Turning to the tail side, the design features the iconic royal shield motif, a powerful representation of the United Kingdom's unity and heritage. Each element of the shield echoes centuries of history, blending England, Scotland, and Ireland into a single confident emblem. In a well-conditioned 1998 coin, these details remain